welcome to Magic Monday. I'm your host, Haley Comet, and you have just stepped into my cosmic celebration of the internet. That's right, we are celebrating when it comes to your weekly forecast from August 11th to August 17th, 2025. There is much beneficial, auspicious energy to grab hold of, and that will surface within your life. And you know me, if you watch this forecast every single week, I keep it real with you with what the cosmos is cooking up, and I love to sit down in my cosmic little chair, in my cosmic little corner of the internet to tell you the cosmic good news. Let's celebrate together. First reason we're celebrating, Mercury is direct, my loves. We did it. We got through another Mercury retrograde. A round of applause, truly. We got out of that period. Maybe there was a miscommunication or two, a technical difficulty or two, an explosive breakup or two, a dream of your ex or two, but whatever your Mercury retrograde had in store, my loves, Mercury is moving forward, and so are we. Of course, there is a little bit of a cosmic yellow light territory. Mercury will clear the shadow August 25th at the end of the month, and that's the most beneficial time as it relates to signing the contracts and launching the brand new initiatives. But you should feel this energy around onward we go, forward motion. Additionally, the two most beneficial planets in the cosmos meet up on Monday. Venus conjoins Jupiter. When Jupiter gets together with any planet, especially in a harsh aspect, it expands. And it expands for better and for worse. Sometimes Jupiter energy can be excessive. Sometimes it can be overboard. And certainly with Jupiter on Venus, can this bring an overboard of spending, a hedonistic approach to pleasure or food, perhaps being a little much as it relates to expressing your affection? Absolutely. But this should be an energy in which you are in the mood to really prioritize what you love, who you love, to really create more beauty out in the world, to see the beauty within yourself, to indulge in the sensual pleasures of being a human being, as well as to look out at the world through the lens of love, harmony, peace, beauty, expanding these properties intentionally and being open for a deepening of your current romantic connections, your friendships, as well as being open to new blessings that Jupiter is bringing into your world. There's a lot of helpful energy as it relates to August astrology, of course, that we'll discuss every single week, as we always do. But one of the many reasons why I like August astrology is because we have these outer planet link-ups, one of which we're experiencing this week. But it's not that its energy is neatly limited to this week. These are two very slow-moving planets, and so we feel it as it builds, we feel it as it separates. So it's not energy that we only have access to this week. Some of you might be listening to this and might be like, Haley, Comet, you're late. I've been feeling this build up. And we may continue to work with this energy as we move into late this week and next week as well. The first of these outer planet link ups is that this week, Saturn and Aries will link up with Uranus and Gemini. And I say link up in a very casual sense. This is a sextile. Sextile is an opportunity flow of energy. And this is an opportunity I want you to grab hold of intentionally, because these planets may be right next to each other, Saturn and Uranus. They both may govern Aquarius from both traditional and modern standpoint, but they're quite different. Saturn is about structure and Uranus is around disruption. And with them getting along, linking up, hanging out, we have this opportunity to innovate the structures of our life, to invite in new responsibilities, to set down a foundation that shakes up our world in beneficial ways and forward moving ways. There is an energy this week where it is like, onward we go. We felt the feels maybe with Mercury retrograde. We reminisced on the past. We looked inward. We introspected. And now there's an energy around being very fascinated what the future is going to look like and ensuring whatever it is that you are setting roots down for, whatever it is that you are building, whatever it is that you are intending or calling in, it's coming from a very heartfelt place, a very soul-centered place with that Venus-Jupiter alignment around these are the experiences that I want to experience. This is the love that I have and then I want to share out into the world. These are the people that I want to commune with, that I want to be in community with, that I want to collaborate with. And allowing whatever it is that you are building, whatever you're setting your sights on, whatever foundation you are laying with Saturn sextile Uranus, ensuring that it's unique, that it's your own, Saturn and Aries, Uranus and Gemini, and ensuring that it's true to your soul, the foundation of your intuition, the emotion that you're really wanting to get to. Because when you build that new business, when you start that relationship, really anything, it all comes back to how is it that I want it to feel? And with Venus on Jupiter, it's plugging into what's feeling good now and being able to follow that ping towards what you are wanting to build moving forward. Around this feels good, more this please. I want to work with more people like this. I want to be around beauty like this. I want to feel more of this. And being able to set down a foundation around this feels good and let's continue to follow this feeling wherever it may lead. And Saturn and Uranus are not the only planets that are linking up this week in this very casual way. Like Venus, Jupiter are conjoining. I think of conjunctions as like marriage. Like those planets are bound. They are woven together. Venus and Jupiter are operating as one. You know, one of them is sending a text saying, trying to link or like you up? What are you doing? It's a little casual, right? There's beneficial energy there. They have the opportunity to work together, but it's not necessarily so set in stone. There's just an opportunity to start a foundation of something that could continue to become more crystallized and more aligned. And the other planets that are sending that WID text or the you up text or the trying to link text, whatever, is Mercury and Mars, actually due to the pace of the planets. Yes, Mercury will sextile Mars twice on 2 different days. Really, it's alive all week, but because Mercury is stationing, it creates 2 different times that this energy exacts. And what you need to know about that is that Mercury is in Leo, creative, expressive, sextile Mars in Libra, collaborative, brainstorming energy. And so as these planets are linking up and hanging out, you too have this opportunity this week to brainstorm and furthermore to heartstorm, to soulstorm with like-minded individuals or bounce ideas off other people or to contemplate what it could be, what's feeling good now and how this can continue to feel good within the future, or at least following the feeling to see where it may lead and allowing yourself to bounce ideas off of other people to tune into how it feels. You know, sometimes a friend of yours will give you a certain idea and it just like feels off. It's honoring that. And sometimes someone gives you an idea and it's like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Or even as you're connecting with someone and you see them within their power and within their gifts and you contemplate, what if we could create something together? And being at the beginning of that pathway around what could this be? Let's continue this conversation. Let's find out. And so there's an excited energy this week. There's an optimistic energy this week. There's this smell of possibility and potential in the air. So take a deep breath, inhale it all in, and let's dive into the intricacies of this week's astrology. But before we do, as I took that inhale, you know what I smelled? I smelled the delicious whiff of my coffee. Take a step inside my Cosmic Café, our little segment where we chit-chat around what we are sipping to start our week before we get back to the astrology and everything that you need to know about it. So this week in the Cosmic Café, I am drinking a cold brew with a little bit of this cookie butter nut pod creamer. It is absolutely delightful. There's something about cold brew that just gets me excited. And this is the sort of week that we want to get excited. There's something in the air around anticipation and dreaming of what it could be. And knowing that sometimes we generate so many ideas and maybe not all of them will come to fruition, but sometimes it's exciting to be in that portal of possibility. And something about a lot of caffeine brings that energy out of me. You know, we've been serving up a lot of water in the Cosmic Café as of late, a lot of juices in the Cosmic Café as of late. I was on my health grind when Mars was in Virgo, the sign of my rising sign, and now it's time to get excited. And that very much ties into this week's astrology. But before we do, I just want to give a huge shout out to my dear friend, Naomi. Naomi is coming out with her EP on Monday, August 11th. It is titled Bloom. I feel so grateful that I got a sneak peek Last time I visited her in Los Angeles, we were on her patio surrounded by all her beautiful plants. You know, she's a Taurus rising, and she played it for me while I got to read the lyrics. She's also a Gemini moon, so really has a way with words. And the way my Pisces self was crying on the patio, like it moved me so deeply to see her evolution as not just an artist, but also as my friend, and just the way that that's woven in with her art. She even has a song on the EP for her mom, which is very Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. This EP is incredible. I'm not just a friend of hers, but I'm also a fan of her music. And so I'm going to drop the EP link below. If you need a soundtrack this week with Venus on Jupiter, a soundtrack that inspires you to bloom into your best self, I deeply recommend checking out Bloom by Naomi Sounds. So now that we have our beverage of the week and our soundtrack of the week, let's go ahead and take it into our vibe check of the week. So welcome to Vibe Check of the Week. This is a segment here on Magic Monday where we compare everything that is aligning within the cosmos above us to a real life situation that may play out on the planet around us. This is a way that we translate the stars into real life by giving you some examples of how this energy may surface. I am not implying that this exact situation will play out within your world, but if you tune into the overall vibe and dynamic of it, you may see similar ones surface within your universe. In this week's vibe check, we will say that you are a photographer in a smaller city, we'll say, and your main specialty, what really pays the bills, is wedding photography, but your passion is around weird, artsy, editorial fashion photo shoots. Like that is what lights you up. And you feel so blessed that you've been able to take your creativity and turn it into a career. You feel so blessed that you are able to set your own hours and say yes or no to certain projects, certain weddings, certain events. But there are certain downsides as it relates to working on your own, where yes, sometimes it's wedding day and there's lots of activity and people, but most of your workday is around responding to quotes, editing photos for hours on end, going back and forth with client correspondence alone within your office. And you have this soul urge for community, and particularly individuals who see the world similarly to how you do, aka through a camera lens. You want to call in photographer friends, but because your market is rather small, there's a vibe within the community of competition, that there's not enough business to go around. And so you haven't been able to call in other photographers, but you're really wanting to just be able to brainstorm and heartstorm and soulstorm with another individual without some weird competitive energy entering the chat. You want to be able to connect with someone who gets the ins and outs of this business. You want to be able to ask other individuals what they do for certain weather conditions at the weddings that they shoot. You want to be able to ask if they have an ideas around how you can capture the particular sheen of a glitter photo shoot that you really want to do. You're really calling in soul sisters or soul brothers or a soul community, people who really get it and get you. And you place your order with the universe, just as you would at a salad bar or a sandwich bar or any place where you have those little paper sheets and the little pencils, and you put in, okay, I want romaine lettuce and I want croutons. Like you put in the order with the universe. You're like, okay, I'm calling in soul family. I'm calling in individuals where maybe we have similar passions. Maybe they own their own business. They don't need to be exactly about what I'm about, but I want people who get it, who feel kindred to me, who feel like home and a human being. Isn't that what we're all calling in with the Venus in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer? And what's so important, both when you place an order at a salad or sandwich bar, when you fill out the little card and you slide it to the chefs, as well as when you place an order with the universe around this is what I'm calling in, patience is important. And your chefs are going to be pretty annoyed if you keep peering over the glass and asking, is it ready yet? And don't forget the salad dressing. Like the chefs will be like, let us do our thing. Like we got to let the universe do its thing by way of divine timing and orchestrating things. And we can't leave the counter altogether and be like, the universe must have not gotten my order. The salad bar must have not gotten my order. My love, they are preparing for it. And it takes having that faith in the universe at large Jupiter is a planet that is associated with, yes, luck, but it's also around optimism, because sometimes our optimism is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we have utter faith, utter conviction that if we place an order at the salad bar, that eventually the chefs will say, hey, we have an order for Shelly or whatever. If we have the utter faith and trust in that, we will experience what we were calling in. Our salad will be ready. Croutons and all. Absolutely delightful. And so that's the vibration that you're staying in. Like, yes, it feels a bit lonely to be working on your own and in your own zone, but you are calling in community and you are allowing your intuition to guide you. So you follow other photographers within your city. And when you see one individual's work, we'll call this person Celia. When you see Celia's work, you are just like, oh my goodness, this individual has such a vision. You know, we all have eyes, but some of us have vision, right? And we will say, when you look at Celia's photography, it's like, this is my sort of photography. It's weird. It's bizarre. It's artsy. She goes out and shoots in the forest. She goes out and does this. You just have such an appreciation for her artistry, and it's so aligned with yours. So you follow her on social media and she follows you back. And that begins this friendship. It starts out digitally. The salad is being prepared, so to speak. And eventually you take initiative. You shoot your shot, so to speak. You say, hey, would you be down to collaborate on some sort of shoot to just like have fun? I can model for you. You could model for me, and we could just see what our weird, zany styles can create together. Celia is so enthusiastic. And the two of you meet up and just feel like you have known each other forever. You're giving Celia ideas for her business and for future shoots. She's giving you ideas for your business and future shoots. The two of you are brainstorming together. Like, what can we do together? You guys end up taking the most like wacky, bizarre, but very artistic photos together. You feel so creative. You love to bounce ideas off of somebody whose mind works in a similar way. And there's no competition whatsoever. There's just an energy of collaboration and excitement. You leave and you're feeling so enthusiastic. You're feeling beaten down by, these weddings, they're so exhausting and they're so long, but that's really what pays the bills. So I have to keep doing this. It like fed the artistry that led you into this craft altogether. And it made you feel excited again. Like, she shared ideas with you, you shared ideas with her, and you just feel renewed and also excited where this friendship could take you. Just wondering, like, where have you been all my life? I love that feeling. That is one of my favorite feelings, when you're getting to know someone and there's just that feeling of just knowing firstly that this is going to be someone who will be significant within your journey, but then also wondering, like, how have I been living life before you came into it? Like, how have I been living within this universe without your presence and your light within it? It's such a gift, and this was worth waiting for. A lot of great connections are worth waiting for, not in reference to waiting for this person to change or act right or come back, what have you. We talked about that a couple weeks ago with Venus squaring Saturn, squaring Neptune. Not that. But if we place an order with the universe around, I'm calling in a soul sister, I'm calling in soul community, I'm calling in the love of my life, I'm calling in a soul-centered business. We have to do the work, use the pencil, as well as within the vibe check, you did the work within the physical, you followed other photographers, you followed your intuition to that, and you also have to trust it will arrive. And sometimes pieces have to be orchestrated. Maybe there was a delay because Celia just moved into town. And the things that are being designed for you, orchestrated for you, aligned for you, are so beautiful but mysterious. Jupiter is in a lunar sign. The moon is shrouded in darkness for much of its cycle. There's something mysterious around where the universe is orchestrating our own divine blessings. But there does feel to be an energy this week with Venus on Jupiter around basking in a moment and really relishing in it, enjoying the feeling of it. So if you're spending time with a friend, whether it's a new friend or an old friend, like really being in how good it feels to play video games with this person, create with this person, design with this person, feel into that. If you get a nudge, if you get a feeling around, I should reach out to this person, I should shoot my shot here, I should apply for this job, follow that nudge. We've got Mercury sextile Mars twice this week. Mars is about action. Mercury is around our words and communication. This is shoot your shot energy. Again, within the vibe check, you had to be the one to initiate, to say, hey, let's spend time. Let's plan a shoot. Venus on Jupiter is very magnetic, but there comes a time and place where you got to shoot your shot. If you feel a certain vibe, you got to put yourself out there, especially as it relates to some sort of collaboration or some sort of connection this week with Mercury sextile Mars. The astrology was also alive in the vibe check with Saturn sextile Uranus. This is why the photo shoot was a little funky, and both of your styles are a little funky. And there's also this energy of possibility, novelty. What could we create together? What could we build together? Yes, around my own individual business, but also how can we work together? How can we collaborate? Can we do some sort of weird editorial shoot? Can we pitch ourselves as dual photographers for certain weddings that we don't really enjoy in order to make it a little bit more fun, that we get to do it together? Like, this could be the start of something new. But again, there is an energy while things feel good with Venus on Jupiter, and we're calling things in based on the feeling, and we're relishing in the love and the beauty and the pleasure that is alive within our world currently. There is an energy around certain things are up in the air. There's conversations, there's brainstormings, there's collaboration, there's possibility, and there's a feeling of excitement around where could this take us? There's really an energy within August astrology around remaining open to how your prayers can be answered and who may be showing up as real life earth angels to answer your prayers. And this won't come in the form of a artsy photographer friend for each and every one of us. Some individuals could feel this around a very promising date or the beginning stages of flirting with someone and feeling into this possibility around where could this go. Some of you could feel this with a new client, like feeling into this energy around this feels so aligned. This feels so good. I'm excited to see where we go together, where we grow together. So we will take this astrology into our day-by-day analysis. I do just want to let you know that I am located in California. So all times that I utter from my lip-glossed lips will be PDT. And this show is also available as a podcast, so it is available in audio form. So not everybody is able to see my lip-glossed lips. And how sad for them. No, I'm just kidding. I've shared this before, but I'm just going to remind you all, just in case someone's new to Magic Monday, quick little intuitive tip for the mystics out there, the mystical baddies out there. Lip gloss is reflective, so it bounces off the bad vibes, the negative vibes. It's a simple little way that you can have as a protective strategy to relish in the beauty of Venus on Jupiter. And I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite songs. I'm not kidding. It's my go-to hype up song, Cherry Lip Gloss by Bear. The first time I heard this song, I guess I'm giving all of the music recommendations this episode, but the first time I heard this song, I felt so spiritually connected to it. I was like, this is my anthem. And lo and behold, Bear told me that I was like low key the muse for the song. I felt it in my soul. Like when I listened to it, I was like, I feel spiritually connected to this song. And she told me that I was the muse for it based on the tip that I just shared with you all. I shared it in Magic Monday way back when, and Cherry Lip Gloss was born, and the world was never the same. I know my Spotify playlists have never been the same since Bear unleashed this song upon us. So great Leo season recommendation as well. But let's go ahead and take it into the astrology for Monday, August 11th. So on Monday, August 11th, good morning, sunshine. It's a beautiful day because Mercury stations direct shortly after midnight, and this flips the direction for Mercury. Rather than being more inwardly focused, introspecting, reflecting, sometimes even ruminating, we are now being asked to set our sights on the future. It's walk, don't run energy. You still could experience some delays as it relates to your technology or some wonkiness here and there, but there is this energy around being less interested in the past or less interested in our own inner world and setting our sights to what is occurring out in the world. We can experience a lifting of a lot of delays or emails that we've been waiting on responses back to, or orders that have gotten lost in the mail could show up, or our salad is ready. Our sandwich is ready. Some sort of order that we place to the universe. It's like, here it is. And my goodness, was this not worth waiting for? This most delightful salad. I've ever consumed, or this delightful soul sister, this delightful manifestation, new job, what have you. There just could be this energy of forward momentum. With Mercury direct, it's setting our sights on the future and allowing ourselves to put energy towards new ideas, new thoughts, new creative ideas. Mercury in Leo is very creative. And so there can be a contemplation around different stories that you want to write, different collaborations you want to pitch, different ideas that you want to put energy towards. And my encouragement, even though Mercury has not cleared the shadow this week, and we should technically give Mercury some time to really get going, really with Mercury sextile Mars twice, if you get a certain nudge around, ooh, I should DM this person, I should pitch this person, I should reach out and see if this person wants to grab coffee, I should see if that cutie at the bar wants to grab a drink with me sometime. Like, if you get a certain nudge, there is an energy to shoot your shot. And of course, do it in a genuine way with Mars and Libra. Really seek to go about it in a very equal, balanced, respectful way, of course, as always. But if there is a certain nudge, follow the feeling. You never know the collaboration, the job, the person, what have you, that could await you when you do take a chance or reach out. You know, the worst thing that someone could say is no. And you know what? Life goes on. The best thing someone could say is yes. And then you have a beautiful soul sister, new job, new client within your orbit, within your life. Honor that. And I keep mentioning other people because Mars is in Libra, but for some of you, this could be putting some energy behind some of your ideas. Maybe something's been cooking this Mercury retrograde around, I got to get back to writing. I got to get back to writing, or I have this idea for this blog post I want to write, or I have this idea for this short film I want to do. Like with the sextile to Mars, it's like putting this idea and giving it a plan, putting some energy behind it. You know, we have to participate in our life. Yes, with Venus, Jupiter, there can be some bountiful blessings at play today as well as this week. That can absolutely be alive. But our life requires our participation. That is very alive currently with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And again, North Node is in Pisces, and jump scare alert, next month is indeed eclipse season. That is on the horizon, and I'm joking. Eclipse season can be, we can of course navigate eclipse season as empowered co-creators, but it's so important to not be a passive observer within our life. Yes, there's fate and destiny, which is why I bring up North Node in Pisces. Fate is at play, but you've got to participate within your fate. You've got to be in the driver's seat of your life. The universe could be trying to deliver you delicious salads and sandwiches, or soul sisters, community, partners, jobs, but you've got to do the work. You've got to show up. You got to put energy towards the idea. You got to follow the breadcrumbs. You got to follow your intuition. You have to remind yourself that you are participating within your reality. And even just that perspective shift around reminding yourself, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm an empowered creator within this experience, helps you to look for the ways that the universe is influencing your world and helps you feel more empowered within it. And this is incredibly important today, as today is also when Saturn in Aries sextiles Uranus in Gemini. You have access to this beyond just Monday, August 11th, but this is the day that the two officially sextile. They link up. Uranus sends Saturn the U up text, or the WYD text, or something like this. I don't know why I'm making Uranus an F-boy, but this is when the text goes through, the two planets get together, and the collaboration, the brainstorming begins. And the idea of new ideas. And again, Saturn is structure, it's time. And the energy of Uranus is an opportunity to influence the structures of our life with something new. Different business structures, different business ideas. If you are a business owner and you're just observing there's certain offerings that don't feel as aligned, or there's certain new offerings that you want to influence, you want to add some add-ons, you want to add virtual consultations, you want to launch a new idea. There just could be an energy around influencing existing structures within your life and having a very steady foundation for them. And again, some of this could just be happening in the ethers around just new ideas around what you're wanting to put a foundation towards, the relationship you're wanting to build, the business you're wanting to build, the career you're wanting to build. But this is a very prolific energy to put down roots for something that is novel, that is innovative, active, that is interesting, but also has legs to stand on, also has stability, also has security. And to remind yourself with Saturn and Aries that you have the ability to invite in new circumstances into your life. You could launch a new offering within your business that goes viral next week. You could send a DM to someone and start a beautiful relationship where you get married. Like, we just never know where things could go. And it's important to invigorate the idea of possibility. Again, with all of these things, it could also flop, but at least you are participating within your reality. At least you are dreaming. At least you are envisioning. The creation of anything, whether you are giving birth to a child, launching a business, sending a text to start a new friendship, like, all of that requires optimism. You have to have this energy around this could work out. And sometimes even just believing in a world where it could all work out is beneficial for you. You know, sometimes we participate with divination like astrology or tarot cards and things like that around, you know, tell me that it's all going to be okay. Tell me it's all going to work out. And certainly there's cards that can affirm that to you. There's transits that can tell you that, but you need to believe that. You need to believe that it's all going to work out for you. You need to believe that the future ahead for you is bright. And you need to be willing to participate in your reality in order to generate different ideas of how that will be the case. And it's important to take the driver's seat. And Saturn in Aries is around taking accountability. It's taking the action steps necessary around you can want a salad. I want a sandwich. I want a salad. You got to grab the paper and you got to write down the stuff. You got to know what you want, do the work to make it happen. And it may take work, Saturn, to change your life, but you have to be willing for different ideas, different mindsets in order to make that a reality. And so look at where Saturn in Aries is transiting and Uranus in Gemini is transiting within your chart. I'll drop both of those videos below where you can figure out where that's activating your chart, because that will tell you where there's fertile, prolific opportunities for newness, novelty, new foundations, new beginnings, or even revolutionizing things, shifting things that have existed. There could be an energy for some around like pivoting. I've had this business, there's elements of it that are working, but I'm inviting in something new. Or my marriage is going well, but what if we could have a new approach to it? There just could be an energy around either revolutionizing something that's been longstanding or contemplating new foundations that you want to set. But it's going to require you to be very radically accountable around what is it that I want, really? What's the feeling that I want? We'll talk about Venus on Jupiter in a second. And am I willing to put in the work in order to invite in these new circumstances into my life? I have to put in the work to find other photographers within my city. I got to shoot my shot. It takes work to change our ways. It takes work to look at our situation around, I'm lonely. I'm in this office for hours on end, just editing. I talk to my cat because I don't talk to anybody all day. My job doesn't require me to be social. People at the wedding are not trying to chat up the wedding photographer. I feel lonely. I have to be real about that reality while also believe that that doesn't always need to be the case. You have to see your current reality, yes, squarely in the face with the energy of Saturn, but know that there's so much more to the story. There can be so much more to the story with the sextile to Uranus and Gemini. I am a person who is going through a lonely period of my life. I am not a lonely person. And I'm going to take action steps in order to invite in new conditions within my world and to believe in the good in the world. And that ties into Venus conjoining Jupiter, which lands at 10:30 p.m. PDT. So you're going to feel this on Monday, August 11th, as well as Tuesday, August 12th. And if you're not feeling it, really see where it is that you can consciously expand Venusian energy within your life. This is an energy that is optimistic. Again, it's believing in the goodness in this world and the goodness in people. I know for a lot of people, sometimes we can get dejected. We can get disheartened around, will I call in the friends that I desire, the lover that I desire, the partner I desire, the clients I desire, when it just seems like this world is just filled with so much hate and so much cruelty and so much bitterness. Again, this is when we get into the optimistic side of Jupiter around genuinely believing in the goodness in this world, and knowing that it exists because you exist. You exist with the heart that you have and the soul that you have, and you have to trust that your soul family, your soul community is out there in order to consciously call them in. Because the only alternative to that is just to harden your heart and to remain closed off to any new connection that may enter your world, which again, you have to decide, is that a world that you want to live in? Now, this alignment happens in Cancer. Cancer is a crab. It most certainly has a shell. There is a need, especially when you have a heart that is big and a soul that goes deep. You do have to have discernment. You do have to have protection over whom you allow into your heart and into your inner reservoirs. But it's believing that it does exist out in the world. Even if it has not shown up right now, you placed your order. You said someone with a deep heart who has the same values as me. Like, you got to trust that the universe is making the salad. It's making the sandwich just how you like it. And the things that are really aligned with your path are worth waiting for. And you'll see with divine timing why certain things entered into your life in the timing that it did. But it's believing that it's possible. A salad that is delicious is possible. A sandwich that is delicious is possible. A person that really sees me is possible. And having faith in that is important when it comes to the Jupiter alignment, and consciously expanding where that is alive. Even if it just shows up around having a genuine conversation with a customer of yours, with a client of yours, really basking and appreciating those moments, being very grateful for those moments and saying like, more this, more pure-hearted souls, more kind individuals coming into my orbit, more people who are on the same wavelength. Thank you, universe, more please. And really calling things in based on the feeling of it, with Venus and Jupiter, the benefics of astrology, getting together in Cancer. Cancer is around our emotional landscape. So also honoring the feeling as it relates to connection. Somebody could be great on paper. The photographer could have had a great Instagram. And sometimes you just get together and the vibe's not there, and that's okay. But it's so beautiful when it is there, when it's just like, I feel like I've known you all my life. Like, this is soul family energy, and that exists for you. You know, I'm someone who believes in past lives, and it's so beautiful to think about when we link up with certain people and like how happy our souls must be to be able to reconnect once again around like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since the 1800s. How are you? And you just feel it when it's there. It's this energy of familiarity. It's this energy around, I've known you. And even if you don't believe in past lives, just that feeling around, I feel anchored with you. This feels so aligned. This makes me feel so safe. More of this, please. And with the Venus on Jupiter, this also can be very beneficial for adding beauty into your home. This can be a really lovely day to bring in some fresh flowers, cook a delicious meal. Again, attract in beneficial experiences into your life based on the feeling of it. It's enjoying the process, being very present of the process of cooking the meal, of enjoying the flowers. This would be a really lovely time to get dressed up, put on your makeup, wear clothes that make you feel beautiful and harmonious, film TikToks of yourself, take photos of yourself, feel beautiful. You're beautiful because your soul shines. You're beautiful because your energy shines. It's really your energy. And when it comes to adorning yourself and beautifying yourself, it's really just doing what feels right for you. And it is a vibration. It's doing things that make you feel beautiful and hot and attractive, what have you, because it feels good to be in that energy and experiencing how magnetic you are in that vibe. For some, this may be a really beneficial time to create, get on the keyboard, record a song, play your harp. Even if you're not a musician, enjoy beautiful music. Like, believe in the beauty within this experience. I know there's a lot of ugliness within people sometimes. There's a lot of ugliness within the world at large. Today is a day to remember that there is beauty, to consciously seek out beauty, expand moments of beauty, find it within nature, find it within music, create it within your artistry. This energy to be inspired, this energy to follow the flow of muse and inspiration. Again, following the feeling of it, where it's like, I don't know exactly what the photo shoot's going to be. I want it to feel like this. I don't know who exactly are the friends that I'm calling in, but I know that I want the connection to feel like this. And trusting in the more metaphysical components to this. Like I said, Venus and Jupiter align in Cancer, the moon's in Pisces all day long. there are so many synchronistic moments where people show up, situations show up, opportunities show up in the perfect timing without our knowledge around how that was being woven, how that was being orchestrated. It's like the universe truly has its timing. And I want you to think back on an experience where the universe and its reasons and its timing was made so apparent to you. Think back to that time that you lost a position, then it just so happened that somebody in the next department was looking for somebody in a job that paid more and you got that job. Or you just so happened to follow a nudge and go to this particular coffee shop and you saw this advertisement for a certain writing competition and you entered it and you won the same amount of money that was needed to put as a down payment on your next apartment, like those magic moments. And sometimes it shows up around something disappointing, a letdown, a breakup, a hard situation that with time you look back and you're like, but that's exactly what needed to happen for me to get this and for this to happen. Things are being designed, things are being orchestrated. And sometimes it's happening in the dark or it's happening in the universe's eyes, so we don't always see it. So what does it look like to really trust? The sandwich is coming. The salad is coming. I put in the order. The chefs aren't going to forget about me. The universe is never going to forget about me. The universe does not play about you, okay? The universe just wants the salad and the sandwich to be absolutely delicious and to come out at the exact right timing. And so there's an energy of trust in that. And that also needs to show up around if you were not picked for a certain opportunity, if somebody that you liked did not like you back, if you were coming out of some sort of experience of a letdown. Like that's where that muscle of faith gets even more important, around trusting, okay, universe, I trust that this is all being orchestrated for something even more aligned. Because sometimes even that mentality can be a self-fulfilling prophecy that helps to magnetize things that are aligned, even more beautiful than we would have even imagined them to be. Where we'll say we filled out the little salad card, we said romaine, croutons, cucumbers, tomatoes, then we get the salad and we're like, this tastes so fresh. Because it just so happens that they got this particular shipment at this time. And if the salad had come out 20 minutes earlier, then we would have gotten the soggy tomatoes from the day before. Now we get the fresh, crisp tomatoes from the day of. We just don't know how things are being orchestrated. So there's a need to believe in the goodness of life, the goodness of people, the beauty of life, the beauty of people, the goodness in yourself, the beauty in yourself, and to really trust. The universe does not play about you. You are the universe's baby. I don't know why that's coming up with Venus on Jupiter. Just this energy around, you're so cherished. You're so loved. You're so uniquely designed. Nobody has a birth chart exactly like you, a soul like you, a destiny like you. The universe doesn't play about you. And yes, babies have to learn hard lessons sometimes, right? Babies from their limited capacities, they don't always have the larger sense of what's going on. Same goes with us as humans. We're the universe's baby, so to speak. And so we don't see it. We're like, wow, I want food now. I want to crawl here now. And the universe is like, you don't want to go there. Not now. From the grander scheme of things, you don't want to crawl over there. There's a furnace over there. Or from the greater scheme of things, it is not aligned to eat right now. You just ate and we need a little bit of time to let your tummy settle. Like, again, we can cry and have temper tantrums because we don't see the higher perspective, but it's trusting that you are very loved by the universe. Because Venus is the vibration of love. And it's really important to be love, embody love, give love. This could be a really lovely time to give someone a gift for no reason, to spread the love that you also want to receive. And it's also just remembering that you deserve goodness because you're a good person. So it's even stepping in this energy around, I deserve good things. I deserve sweet things. I deserve love. And I'm calling that in because that is what I am. I'm calling in goodness because I am good. I'm calling in love because I am love. And so even seeing where it is that you can give to others, what it is that you would like to receive, genuine compliments and hyping up their photography, Instagram, or giving a gift because you saw something and you thought of this person. Like those gestures can truly go so far. I actually read the other day that when we give someone a gift, the payout on both sides is equal in that we experience the same amount of joy in giving the gift as the other person does in receiving it. So it's just a way to invigorate and invite more goodness, more generosity, more love into this world. Again, hate and cruelty is so loud and it's so all surrounding at this time. Be love, give love, embody love, make love, invite in more love into this experience and really seek it out. Invite in sweet interactions, invite sweetness into your world, see the beauty within nature, enjoy the food that you eat, have a beauty ritual tonight, do things that are leisurely and pleasurable and bask into it. Let go of any mom guilt, let go of any guilt around, oh, I should be working or I should be doing this. You deserve to feel good because you are good. Other than that, in a perfect world, and this is not my cosign, but in a perfect world, I would say, work is just, it's not the vibe today. It's just not the vibe. I wish that was a valid reason to call out, is be like, boss, listen, Haley Comet said work is not a vibe today. So I unfortunately am not able to make it. The reason I say that is we've got a Pisces moon void of course all day. Pisces moon is dreamy. It's on a different planet. It's on a different level. And void moons are not so terribly productive. So you could be in energy around feeling a bit sleepy, being a little dreamy, contemplating what could be. I feel like with that Venus Jupiter, this is a really beneficial day to go out in nature, to spend time with people that you love, to be in beautiful environments, to create beautiful things, dream, imagine. I will just highlight, sometimes Pisces moons can put us in the feels. Sometimes with Venus, Jupiter, and Cancer, there can be whispers of nostalgia or a certain song that comes on that you feel so deeply that it brings a tear to your eye. Like, there definitely may not be all good feelings alive currently, but I would really consciously encourage you to reach for the good feelings and intentionally expand them. Especially with the Pisces moon closing aspect the day prior being a trine to the Venus-Jupiter alignment. On Tuesday, August 12th, the Pisces moon yesterday was the dreamer, and the moon entering Aries today is the doer. When we have a Pisces void moon, there's a lot of ideas. It's very dreamy. It's very in the ethers. It's not so grounded. So it's kind of that energy around, we could do a shoot and it might feel something like this, or it could be like this, or an energy of being at the beach and just writing down different ideas for different businesses that you want to start. You haven't done the legwork. You haven't done all the research, but you got to get familiar within the ethers before you yank it down to reality, right? And there is a nudge this week to bring things down to reality, to link up with other individuals and to contemplate how it is that we can collaborate, or how it is that we could put energy behind our own visions or our own ideas. But the Pisces moon energy is very dreamy. It's very up in the clouds. But now with the moon in Aries, there's more of an interest around, let's do the things. Let's get after it. It's Mars Day. We've got the moon in Aries. Get up and get after it. No one's going to do it unless you do. No one's going to do it for you. Like, you could say, universe, I want a sandwich. Universe, I would like a salad. Universe, my tummy is grumbling. The universe is like, hello, you got to fill out the sheet. You got to grab the little pencil and you got to decide if you want romaine or green leaf lettuce. You got some decisions to make. You got to put in the work. And again, dreaming is an important equation to it, right? Getting into the ethers, contemplating what could be, brainstorming, heartstorming, and soulstorming, right? This week, there's an important energy of that. But there comes time when it's time to take action. There's time to shoot your shot. There's time to get after it. So the watery energy yesterday kind of made you lost at sea, because not everybody loves astrology like this with a lot of water signs. It can make us feel really nostalgic, sentimental, emotional, sometimes like rudderless or lost around, what am I doing? What's the purpose of life? Can sometimes be that energy. With the moon entering Aries, there's a little bit more energy around, okay, I don't need to figure out the meaning of life. What's one thing I can do to invite in the circumstances that I desire into my world? And, there might be a little bit of a harsh wake-up call from the dreamy Pisces moon energy yesterday. We do have the moon aligning with Saturn around 5 a.m. And Venus on Jupiter, it can be hedonistic. It can be excessive. I would mind the spending with Venus on Jupiter. Some of you could have overdone the drinking the day before, even the sugar. Some of you could just have a little bit of a hangover, sugar hangover, an emotional hangover, a creativity hangover. There just could be an energy around dealing with the ramifications of the excess, of the overboard. This even could just be an energy around like crying with a friend because you love them so much, and then the next day being like, okay, that was a little cringy. That was a little much. That was a little embarrassing. And sometimes it's just a feeling, right, around too much of a good thing, but I don't really think there's too much love that could go around. But there just could be an energy of maybe it was too much cake. Maybe it was a little too much shopping. Maybe it was a little bit too much food that we ordered at dinner. Maybe it was a little bit too many happy cries, what have you. But life is about those big moments that sometimes are a little excessive. But on Tuesday, there could be this energy around, okay, it's time to get back to business. Maybe I happy cried. Maybe I listened to a playlist and I felt it so deeply that I bittersweet cried. Maybe I ate a little bit too much cake. Maybe I didn't need that extra item that I added to my cart to get the free shipping. Whatever it was, it's like with Aries moon on Saturn, it's like, okay, got to keep it moving. Maybe I'm dealing with some of the side effects of some of that excessive energy, but it's time to wake up and seize the day. No one's going to do it for me. There could be some irritations. I want to say that it's Mars Day, moon's in Aries. Mars is currently debilitated in Libra. There could be an energy around you wanting to be impatient, you wanting to get things done and having to wait on other people, feeling very frustrated that you're having to wait on other people. Could be an energy with the Aries moon building to oppose Mars and Libra. But there is an energy with Aries moon aligning with Neptune before that around taking action to make things happen. Again, there could be delays, there could be frustrations, working with others, waiting on others. But overall feels to be a can-do spirit alive in Tuesday. And following your instincts, the Aries moon will trine Mercury and Leo at 10:59 a.m. So follow your instincts to shoot your shot as it relates to the ideas that you want to share at the meeting, the posts that you want to create, the people that you want to hang out with or spend time with. It's Leo season. You got to hype yourself up, right? If you get into the energy around, well, they really want to hang out with me. They seem so cool. It's like, you're cool. You're a great photographer. Like, remember that. You got to believe it. Or even if you're like, gosh, I have this idea of this TikTok I want to make, but who wants to hear from me? Who wouldn't want to hear from you? Like, you got to feel it and be it first. And that'll make you more magnetic for yeses, for collaborations, for results of what it is that you desire. It starts with you. On Wednesday, August 13th, the Aries moon may be fearless, courageous, bold. What it is not is very patient, and that could be very much alive on Wednesday. Again, we talked about this yesterday with perhaps waiting on other people or getting irritated because certain coworkers take longer with certain things, or getting irritated because your spouse forgot something or your partner takes longer with something. There could be an energy around being raring to go, but having to wait on other people or something like this. Today just feels like an energy around getting a little irritated with the universe around how long certain things are taking, or any sort of apparent feeling of lack of progression around, I just want to be the next level. I just want this soul community. I just want the love of my life. I just want this new job. And sometimes we are that baby whining, like, I want it now. I want it now. I say this because today the Aries moon squares Venus and squares Jupiter, both in Cancer, which is an energy around good things come in divine timing. The moon is not full all month long. Like, there is a reason for every season. We could whine during a new moon because we're like, I want to see the moon. I want it now. But it's like everything has a reason. And again, much happens in the darkness. Much the universe is orchestrating on our behalf. So where is it that we can enjoy the now? Because sometimes we don't realize how we will miss certain parts of this journey. If you are crying and wailing because you're like, I want the love of my life now, you could look back to the season of your life around being able to be in your own energy and live by yourself and be like, gosh, I wish I would have just been there and not been so ready to get to the next chapter. Or if you're like, I don't want to work this job anymore, I just want to work for myself, there might be a version of you who's like, gosh, I wish I would have just enjoyed that stability before I jumped into my own thing. It's like trusting in the alignment of things and trusting that you are where you are meant to be. And there is an energy where we could feel like we need to rush to the next step, or just being frustrated because it feels like things are taking longer than we would have imagined. There's a reason and a season for everything. The more that you believe in that, the more that you surrender to the universe and the ways that synchronicities are coming together. And when I say that, I do not mean taking your hands off the driving wheel. Okay? Because like I said, you got to place the order. You got to put in the work. You got to shoot your shot. We have to participate within our fate. Okay, that's the vibe this week. If it's not in my field, yeah, it's not in my field. And when something that comes in my field that looks like my sandwich, that looks like my salad, I will go after it. I will follow the nudge. I will follow my instincts. And there could also be an energy, again, feeling frustrated by other people taking longer. There could be an energy around some hurt feelings or dealing with some sensitivity. There can be some energy around having certain impulses to overspend, to overindulge. Something like this could be alive on Wednesday. And with that energy today, there can be this balancing act, I would say, around where you can make things happen and get things done while also honoring other people's energy, in a sense, around not rushing into the meeting and stepping on people's toes and dominating the entire meeting with your ideas when we have to get things done. Like honoring your team, honoring the vibe, but also honoring your own leadership in order to initiate, in order to drive things forward. It's like a delicate balance around where we can be in the moment and flow and allow and connect while also initiating or making things happen. It's particularly potent with the Aries moon trining the Leo sun. That aligns around 4 p.m. So it's remembering who it is that you are. It's stepping into that conference room, stepping into that shop, stepping into the camera, stepping into the recording booth, whatever you're doing today, and like embodying that version of you. Even if inwardly you're like, gosh, I feel nervous sending this DM to see if this photographer wants to spend time, or gosh, I feel nervous going into this interview. You got to be it and feel it to call it in. You got to become that person, feeling into the vibration of abundance in order to call in abundance. And that doesn't mean you need to go and spend a ton of money, okay, online shopping or anything like that. There can be a strong desire to do just that with Venus on Jupiter. Jupiter can expand money coming in, but it most certainly expands money going out. I don't even necessarily mean spending money in order to feel abundant. I mean tapping into the abundance of time that's alive currently. If you have time in the morning to put on your makeup, or feeling into the abundance around, gosh, there's coffee to make and I'm able to make coffee. This feels so good. My goodness, thank you. And Jupiter is the vibration of gratitude. So even if you're calling in abundance on a bigger level, being grateful for the abundance in where it's showing up now, as well as beauty, like really as you adorn yourself, as you put on clothes, like see yourself stepping into your higher version. Visualize yourself as you're putting on your makeup, as you're doing your hair, as you're putting on your clothes, stepping into that version of you, whatever that is, that confident, creative, boss energy. And really feel that, become that, embody that, call in more of that. Again, there's an energy this week around, yes, being open for love and connection and collaboration within the outer world, but doing what's possible to make yourself as magnetic to that as possible, around being sweet to attract more sweetness in, feeling beautiful in order to call more beauty in, feeling abundant in order to call more abundance in, as well as feeling grateful in order to call in more to be grateful for. Truly, gratitude is such a key with Jupiter energy. Every single morning, 3 things that you are grateful for. That will train your brain for the rest of the day to look out for things that you are grateful for. I know that there could be a lot happening within your world that you're like, Haley, Comet, this is so not groovy. But if you had coffee to put in your cup this morning, you may not have had cookie butter creamer, and I apologize for you because it's actually very delightful. But if you had coffee to drink today, if you had an afternoon to feel the sunshine on your skin, if you had a moment to connect with a dear friend, like, my love, you are rich, like, feel into that. Wealth and abundance does not just show up within the finances in our account. It's also the moments of love that we experience, the moments of beauty, the moments of creativity. You could be abundant with ideas. You could be abundant with time. You could be abundant with love. Even just calling that in and seeing yourself like, I am so rich. I am so rich. Again, I think there's a nudge with Saturn Aries to not see our present circumstances as the definition of who it is that we are. It's just your present conditions. Like, you at this particular moment might be dealing with certain financial obstacles that does not need to define you. It's like seeing yourself as, I am a rich, wealthy person who happens to be dealing with financial obstacles right now. But I'm rich in love. I'm rich in time. I'm rich in spirit. I'm abundant in spirit. It's being very particular with how it is that you center yourself, as well as the activities that help boost your confidence to remember that I'm beautiful, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm loving, I'm generous. Do your affirmations for real, or listen to the music that makes you feel like a baddie. I already dropped 2 artists within this week's Magic Monday that I love, whose music I listen to feel like a baddie. Today's astrology is really asking you to do that. Listen to the music that hypes you up, that makes you feel confident and powerful, which, like I said, even if there might be impatient energy or dealing with getting things done, as well as minding other people's feelings or feeling like other people are steamrolling your feelings, there's an energy to trust where it is that you are currently, trusting the universe, orchestrating everything, be as patient as one can be with the moon in Aries, and just trust what I desire desires me, and I'm going to enjoy myself as I wait for the universe to prepare my salad. Prepare my sandwich. On Thursday, August 14th, I want to share firstly that Mercury in Leo will sextile Mars in Libra. This lands at 7:05 p.m. PDT. And reminder, sextile is a very casual conversation between planets. They are not fused together like a conjunction. They are not passionately beefing like a square. It's just kind of like a you up text, or a WYD text, or a trying to link text. It's a little casual. And that's not to say that it cannot be the start of something great. And sometimes it's helpful just play in that realm of possibility around, we don't know where this could go. Let's be in the space of enjoying the journey as we find out. Maybe some of you are dating someone new and you're just kind of enjoying the process. And sometimes we can feel our own wounds, our own pain points, our own underlying stories sometimes come in those spaces around who would want to collaborate with you. You're not even that good and you're still having to work weddings, even though your desire is to move into more editorial fashion photography, or if you are starting to casually see someone and it's going somewhere, just almost anticipating the worst before it happens around, this person is going to go cold on me, this person is going to ghost me, this is not going to work out. But sometimes there's this fear around, what could this be? And there is an energy this week around just seeing where it is that we can enjoy the ride, around enjoying the ride of getting to know someone, enjoying the ride of launching a new offering. Maybe that's the fear around, what if this flops? Enjoying the space of possibility, because there's many different ways that it could go. You could try it out, it could sell out, and you can find, actually, this isn't feeling super aligned for me. Sometimes it's helpful to play with something and to remember it's casual. I'm just going to try out this launch. We'll see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel good, I'll know it when I get there and I can dial it in. I can shift things. Sometimes we stress ourselves out. We feel like this needs to be the thing. This needs to be the relationship. This needs to be the hangout. And sometimes just being able to engage around, let's see how this feels. Let's see how this feels. And then we can shift course. We don't need to bind ourselves too deeply. We don't need to establish a joint LLC right out the gate. We could just see how this goes. We could just enjoy the process of getting to know each other. And I mention this just because with the moon alignment to Chiron, sometimes this can activate our pain points, our ouches, the times that we have been hurt. And again, when you feel those self-sabotaging instincts come to the surface around, I should go cold on this person before they have the opportunity to go cold on me, or I shouldn't reach out to this person so they don't have the opportunity to reject me and say they don't want to collaborate with me, or I won't reach out to this client so I don't have to deal with the sting of them saying no. Sometimes those self-sabotaging instincts are there to protect you, right? Because Chiron draws awareness to where we've been hurt. So it comes out because we don't want to feel that pain again. You can thank that version of you around, thank you. You're playing the role that you're here to do around trying to protect me, not wanting me to feel hurt again. But that's not necessary in this instinct. I don't want to live my life on self-preservation mode. That doesn't feel like a very empowering way to live. And it's important, especially fresh off of Mercury retrograde in Leo, I have been nudging you all within the cosmic corner of the internet to really get clear in your scripts underneath. Because if you feel that tendency around going cold on this person before they can go cold on you, or ghosting this new professional contact before they can reject you, or not applying for this job before they can say no to you, that may be signaling an inner script within you around, I'm not worthy for these sort of opportunities. I'm not worthy to collaborate in these sort of ways. And it might keep us safe, certainly, but it will keep us stuck. And it is really important to learn how to bounce back from rejection. Like truly how to bounce back from rejection is such a superpower. And you'll see this superpower in entrepreneurs. You'll see this superpower within creatives. It's hard. You can lick your wounds, but you got to get back to it. And you got to know the worst that someone can say is no. And life, it just keeps going. And again, it can hurt to feel rejected. It can hurt to be told no. The Chiron part of you, the wounded part of you could be like, see, this is what we were trying to avoid. But it's knowing that that's not the foot to lead with. Again, that sort of logic will have us not place the order at the sandwich bar, even though we're really hungry, because it's like, what if the chefs forget about me? And again, what that affirms to self, I'm not worthy of being fed. I'm not worthy of having what it is that I want. Allow these old scripts to come to the surface just to say, okay, thank you. I know you're trying to protect me, but that's actually not the version of me that's leading the drive into this season of my life. I'm actually calling in the confident version of me, the boss version of me, the powerful version of me. That's who's going to get me to where I want to go. And get me in the room with the people I want to be in a room with. You know, Mercury will sextile Mars and Libra. This speaks to collaborations, partnerships, delegation, even being open to hire someone or work with someone, collaborate with someone. You'll never know until you reach out. And you might get a yes, but it takes courage to initiate, especially if it feels right. I'm not saying you need to pitch 100 publications blindly because you're like, Haley Comet told me to shoot my shot. You got to follow the feeling of it around this feels right. I just feel inclined to reach out to this person. Let's just see where this goes. And again, it doesn't necessarily just need to show up around other people. It could also show up around certain creative ideas. It's time to put energy towards it. Finally, maybe I have this idea that's been gathering dust and now's the time to see if I can hire somebody that can bring this idea to life. Or maybe I want to share this with a friend and bounce ideas and see their perspective off of it. This was the part of the vibe check where it's like we're having this excited conversation. We're envisioning where things could go. And it's sort of that kind of hyper experience when you're drinking coffee. I apologize if my energy is kind of on one today. Cold brew gets me going, but it just kind of feels like an energy when you have a coffee date with someone and you're both really caffeinated and excited and generating all sorts of ideas. Will you do all of them? Maybe not. Is it fun to dream and bounce off energy and have different conversations? Yes, it is. I had a coffee date with who I truly feel is a soul sister, like truly. And I just need to paint the whole picture of this because I feel like it's so beautiful and it's such a beautiful example of divine timing. So I found this individual, Kaylee. I'm going to drop her accounts below. She is getting a new YouTube account. So she has her new YouTube account set up by the time that this video goes up. I'll drop that below, but she is incredibly gifted. I am such a fan of her. Truly. She is tapped in. And I found her work a year ago. I want to say a year ago. And those of you who watch Magic Monday know that I had a tough 2024. And because of that, I was seeking a lot of spiritual help. I was seeking a lot of help in general. And the universe really sent me genuine earth angels, Kaylee being one of them. And because I work by myself, similar to our protagonist, and I'm by myself a majority of the time, I really like to listen to things in the background. It makes me feel less alone when I'm just like working, doing whatever. And I would listen to her lives as she gave readings on TikTok. And one day she put it together. She didn't realize she'd been reading for me. And she was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize like you were you. I didn't like click on your page. Like I follow you from my personal account. Like this is wild. I can't believe I've been reading for you. And we both just were such a fan of what the other person were about and just like hyping one another up. And she honestly was so huge within my healing journey, truly. Like she and the resources that she shared and the readings that she gave me and just who she is as a person just so helped me get out of the ickiness that I was in last year. And I find out that she's also in the same city as me, San Diego, which I had no idea. And we've talked, we're like, we need to hang out. We need to do something. And just so happened, I was eating lunch with a client and I see two women just with glowing, vibrant, beautiful auras. And I realized that it's Kaylee and her mom, Randina Marie, who's also incredible, such a fan of her content, everything that she is about. Genuine earth angels. Kaylee, Alexa, and Randina Marie. And there they were in real life, like after I've been following them for a year. So I was like, do I say something? I'm typically someone who's actually pretty shy. I know I yap in front of this camera all of the time, but in real life, I am pretty shy. I'm a little bit introverted, and I'm typically not someone who really initiates things, but I was like, I need to say something. I mean, they're here in my reality. You know, maybe some of you will run into someone and it's like, do I say something? Do I not? And I chose to take action and leave my little table at the patio and say hello. And we really took that as a sign that we needed to get together, that we needed to hang out. And we did just that. We grabbed coffee, too much coffee. They messed up Kaylee's first coffee. So then they gave us that one and she got the one that she ordered. So we had 3 large coffees. At Better Buzz, between the two of us, we were talking a mile a minute, just about all of the things. Like, it was just such a natural connection. But I just feel like there's so much synchronicity around how it all came in. Because like I said, she was so key within my healing, truly. And the way that we ended up crossing paths and meeting up at a period within my journey that, again, I don't think we're ever 100% healed, but I'm just in such a different place. It's like the universe was like, okay, I sent you this earth angel when you were in like the depth of your suffering. And now you have this opportunity to create this friendship with this individual. Should you shoot your shot or initiate or see what the universe is giving you and take action on it? That may show up for some of you by way of an idea, by way of a conversation, by way of asserting yourself in some sort of way, by way of deciding that you are going to move forward with an idea of yours. There could be an energy building like that with Mercury sextile Mars today as well as Sunday. And again, there was a delay. Like, Kaylee and I were trying to hang out like 6 months before we did, but the universe aligned things perfectly. Like, I see why we were meant to meet in person now. Like, there's such a magic to how things are aligning. But like I said, you got to participate in your fate. If you happen to run into some people, you got to decide to say hi. If you get a certain creative download, you got to take action to make it happen. Participate in your fate. Other than that, the moon enters Taurus at 6:22 a.m. PDT. So the moon is now exalted. We've got the sun in domicile, moon exalted. This is energy that wants to center yourself as the main character. And again, know that you deserve to feel good. You deserve to enjoy beauty. You deserve to enjoy plants and animals and just the lovely things that this planet in store, as well as just the loveliness of being within your own physical body. Taurus moon energy does ask us to relish, to luxuriate, to bask. Yes, you feel the sun on you, but do you really feel the sunshine warming your skin? Yes, you're on a walk, but do you really feel the wind hitting your face? It's like really being present. And the Taurus moon does activate a loose fixed T-square between Mercury in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. So some of you could have some ego disputes, people who are not seeing eye to eye, some stubbornness. You also might have to get out of your own way or your own ego about something that could absolutely come alive here. There could be fears of security that are alive with the Taurus moon square Pluto. The encouragement from Venus separating from Jupiter now is really believe in the abundance of yourself, of this world. Try not to give too much into fear around what if this happens? Be here now. Feel the sunshine, feel the wind, feel your cat's fur when you're petting your cat. Like, be here now is really the encouragement, as well as be willing to listen as much as you speak with the energy of the Taurus moon squaring Mercury in Leo. Really strive to hear other people. Don't just think of what you're going to say next. Listen, be present. If you want to call in more people who are present for you and listen to you, be what you are calling in. So on Friday, August 15th, we just love a Friday, a Venus today with the moon in a Venus ruled sign. It just hits different. It just does. And the moon aspects are quite lovely as well, with the Taurus moon sextile Jupiter in Cancer in the morning time, Venus in Cancer closer to 1:16 p.m. PDT. This is an energy where you could wake up actually feeling rested. Your toddler slept through the night. Your baby slept through the night miraculously. There's an energy where you made something for breakfast that was delightful. Your latte is hitting this morning. It's giving simple delights. And the encouragement this week, especially with Venus on Jupiter separating now is really gratitude, like enjoying, like, gosh, that was a great night of sleep, like really savoring that, or gosh, this is a delicious latte, like really just being present for the blessings that are showing up now. Again, when you're grateful, you call in more to be grateful for. When you appreciate the blessings within your world, you call in more blessings within your experience. And so there's a soft influence of that alive in the morning, afternoon time. The evening is a little bit more testy. The Taurus moon squares off with the Leo sun. This is the last quarter moon. This checks in on last week's Aquarius full moon. Let me know, how was that for you all? I would love to know. And last quarter moons sometimes do make things tense. Again, there could be an energy of pride or ego. Maybe you're in a little bit of a standoff with your partner and you feel very strongly that you're in the right and they feel that they're in the right. And there is an energy with Venus Jupiter around, where is it that I can choose love and choose harmony? Again, I don't mean that in a way around dismissing disrespect if it was alive, or dismissing someone treating you poorly. But sometimes the disputes are really not worth fighting, and there's just a need to kind of put down the ego and just enjoy one another's company, or just the radical acceptance of who this person is. Like really tapping that energy of just love and appreciation for who the soul is. It's so easy to project who they are not, who we want them to be, and what have you. But true love is really appreciating who that person is. We all have arenas where we could grow and evolve and be better, and we should be in partnerships that inspire us to be better. But ultimately, we want love where we are able to be as we are, come as we are. And there might be an energy where you just reach this impasse where it's like, okay, let's give up the battle. Whoever forgot to get butter from the store, like, let's just let it go and just enjoy our evening together and try to make this pasta dish without the butter, or whatever it may be. You know, sometimes we get in certain conflict or fights around really like silly things, but it's not about the butter. It's not about the pasta for the Vanderpump Rules people. Like sometimes the actual fight is something so small and it can feel silly to argue about who was meant to get the butter, but there's something deeper. It's like, I want to feel seen. I want to feel prioritized. I want things to feel balanced, right? With Mars and Libra. And it's not even to say that there's necessarily this huge tense vibe this week. I just see with Mercury sextile Mars, there just could be quick conversations, fast conversations, or even just an energy around asserting oneself within conversation around, maybe typically you would be someone who would let the butter go, but maybe there's an energy around, hey, I noticed you didn't get the butter, or something like this. Like we might feel a little bit more inclined to share our thoughts or to communicate perhaps in a more Mars way, which can show up around quick, witty, but sometimes angry. So it's not necessarily super dominant this week, but it could be something that you feel, especially when you have a last quarter moon. There just could be an energy where we reach an impasse, we reach a crisis point, we reach a tension point. And this is the last quarter moon, so it's waning. So there's an energy around, what did the Aquarius full moon bring up, and what are we releasing? What are we letting go of? Again, are we letting go of ego in order to choose love? Are we letting go of this energy around, well, I need this person to approach me if we're meant to collaborate? Like sometimes we got to let our defenses down or let our ego down in order to move towards something that could be really great. Could be an energy here. And there also is a nudge this week around where we can go in the direction of what feels good around, I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I know I want it to feel like this. Or I don't know where exactly this is going, but I know this feels good. Like letting the feeling drive us forward. And I don't even necessarily mean that in terms of like a hedonistic way, right? Like we've got the last quarter moon in Taurus. Venus is conjoining Jupiter. Like if we go based on what is always comfortable or what is always enjoyable, that's not always conducive for growth. Like sometimes growth is uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to shoot your shot. It's uncomfortable to get up and get to the gym if that is your aim. It doesn't feel necessarily as pleasurable. So it's not saying always choosing what will be immediately the most gratifying or comfortable, but it's honoring the feeling of it where yes, it's uncomfortable to get out of bed, but my goodness, does it feel good to be in the gym before the sun rises? That is a good feeling, like for our soul, like that feeling around, I'm committed to myself. I'm showing up for myself. It might feel uncomfortable to shoot your shot, to initiate a new professional contact, a new friendship, but it feels good to be able to discuss the ins and outs of the photography business with someone who gets it. So it's honoring that, and it's also honoring what's not feeling good. Like, this is not feeling good. Like, I thought this connection was going to hit, but it just doesn't feel quite right. Or I thought that this new offering was going to be a great new part of my business, but it doesn't exactly feel aligned. Like, yes, there is an energy this week where we could build things that might be part of a new foundation, but it's important to honor where we feel called to pivot and dial things in. Sometimes we wait and we wait and we wait because we want things to be perfect, but sometimes we learn through trial and error. We try a launch and we dial it in from there. Sometimes if we wait for that perfect moment, we will be waiting all our lives. And, like we've been talking about, Mars and Libra can sometimes put us in analysis paralysis where we overthink the DM around, ooh, should I put a sparkle emoji? Is that too much? Am I weird to want to do a joint photo shoot with this person? And sometimes that analysis paralysis will keep us from even sending the DM. Sometimes waiting for the perfect moment around, ooh, I shouldn't send this DM tonight because it's nighttime and this person's probably trying to unwind. I'll send it in the morning. But then you go to send in the morning, you're like, ooh, but what if this person's not a morning person? Like, sometimes that could be a way we self-sabotage, waiting for this perfect moment. The perfect moment is the moment that you feel inspired and you do the thing. So there can be an energy around following the feeling and knowing we can adjust, we can shift gears. And if something's not feeling good, it's not feeling aligned, it's okay to change direction. It's okay to recognize this is not feeling good. This is not feeling right. This is not feeling aligned. And it's okay for me to let go. And fun fact, we're preparing for a new moon next week, and you don't need to settle. If there's something that you're lukewarm about, the universe could be trying to bring you things that are a heck yes, a full body yes. So if you feel like you're trying to talk yourself into something around, I should be more into this person that I'm dating, or I should be more excited about this new launch. Like, sometimes you just got to honor the feeling and just honor it's not feeling aligned. And it's okay to let it go, is really the nudge with last quarter moon in Taurus. On Saturday, August 16th, the moon enters Gemini at 9:01 a.m. Closing aspect was that last quarter moon, the sun squaring moon last night. So there could have been certain tension alive in the evening time. When the moon enters Gemini, there is this desire to connect, to collaborate, to socialize, especially with the Gemini moon socializing with so much of the cosmos above us. I do just want to highlight, we are in the waning crescent moon. Like, after the last quarter moon, the moon is now shedding its light, preparing for next week's new moon in Virgo, the last lunation that we have before eclipses, if you could believe it. And sometimes when we are preparing for a new moon, there's this call to release, renew, retreat. So just honor that if it does come up. But with the energy of Gemini moon, there's this desire to connect, to be curious, to converse. This would be a great day, honestly, Saturday or Sunday, to ask someone for coffee, strike up a conversation, pick someone's brain, or go to some sort of club, go to some sort of gathering, talk with like-minded souls. There just could be an energy around bouncing off energy off of other people, or just being open to interesting people, eccentric people, eclectic people, with the Gemini moon aligning with Uranus. If you're more feeling a little bit inclined to come inward, to hermit, this could be a time to go to the museum that just opened in your town. Learn some fun facts about orcas. Can I just give a shout out? I forgot to say this, but a couple weeks back, I asked for fun facts on platypuses. You guys did not disappoint. Those were some fun facts. I just love this community, and I just love this cosmic corner of the internet and the information that you all are always putting me on to. But Gemini moon aligning with Uranus, you might just learn an interesting fun fact in a conversation, at the museum, in life, your neighbor talking about something on the patio and you overhear it. If you know a fun fact, drop it below. I would love to know. Let's all learn something with this Gemini moon energy. And so really, when it comes to Saturday's astrology, it's good for just about anything. I would just say strive to keep your mindset very positive. Again, you can wake up and be like, another freaking day. Or you could be like, what is the universe orchestrating for me today? What surprise could come into my reality? Again, you never know when you open your eyes and something amazing, miraculous, stupendous is going to come into your reality. Allow yourself to be open to novelty, open to newness. Allow yourself to ask questions, to be curious where it's all going, to follow the breadcrumbs. The Gemini moon will sextile Saturn in the morning time, align with Uranus, then it will sextile Neptune. It trines Pluto. That happens like morning to 12:30, all of those aspects. Closer to the evening time, the Gemini moon will will sextile Mercury in Leo and trine Mars in Libra. So collaboration, brainstorm energy, great time for a dinner date, great time for a double date, great time for a spontaneous hang, great time for a book club. Great time for a live, if any of you are creators who go live or to participate in lives. Like I said earlier, I just hang out in lives. When I'm working, like when I'm listening, I want something in the background. I just listen to people on live giving readings. I hope that's not creepy that I'm just like hanging out in lives. But as a few of you know, a random hyperfixation this past year for me has been tarot. I just so love it and appreciate it as modality. And I feel like I've learned so much just listening to talented readers give other individuals readings. And people like Kaylee, I just feel like I've been put on to so many books and so many meditations and so many tools and so much knowledge on the cards just by listening to certain conversations. So if you are still calling in that soul community, you are calling in, your soul sisters, your soul brothers, your soul fam, whatever that may look like, it's important to know that in the day and age that we live in, it does not need to show up within your neighborhood, within your backyard. Yes, there could be an option for that to be alive with the Gemini moon energy, but it's also being open to internet communities and feeling into the energy of like-minded souls coming together. I mean, I feel like you guys are my soul community down in the comments. I love when you guys support each other. I do believe people on a similar wavelength find each other, whether it's in real life or online. So it's also just being open for connection in that way as well. On Sunday, August 17th, Mercury sextile Mars, round 2. Due to Mercury's station, this exacts 2 times on Thursday and on Sunday. So essentially just think of this energy alive the entire time. And this is the energy, just as a reminder, around shooting your shot. If you get a certain nudge, take action on it. Believe in yourself as worthy of a conduit to bring this to life. Like we've been talking about this week, it all starts with you. You've got to see yourself as someone who's worthy of collaboration to shoot your shot. You've got to see yourself as someone who's worthy of this position to apply for it. You've got to see yourself as someone who's amazing to date in order to ask someone out. And again, if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't align, that's okay. It does not say anything about you. It does not indicate that you're not worthy of collaboration or a partner, what have you. It just simply was not the right fit. So be open, pay attention to what you're feeling inspired to do. This could be an energy where we're more inclined to debate. Mars and Libra may be peacekeeping and harmonious, but it is an energy that wants to advocate for what is fair and stand up for what is fair. So if you see somebody being mistreated at a boutique that you frequent or a coffee shop, this could be an energy where you're like, hey, don't talk to this person that way. Like some of you could feel a little bit of spicy energy around wanting to stand up for something that you care about. This could also show up online around getting involved in a certain internet discourse and saying, what about this perspective? Like this is a side of the issue that you're not contemplating, that you're not considering. There's definitely an energy with Mercury and Leo. It's important to know that you're worthy of speaking your truth. I talked about, Mercury is retrograde in Leo, let them hear you roar. And there's a tact that's necessary for that. There's a diplomacy. There's a social grace that's necessary. I'm not saying you have to scream it out to the world, but it's also knowing you're someone who's worthy of speaking your side or sharing your perspective or sharing your ideas. Again, if you contemplate who would want to hear my side of this issue or who would want to hear my post on this, who wouldn't believe in that and approach conversations, bid for connection, potential hangouts, this energy around who wouldn't want to hang out with me. I like to hang out with me, so I know this person will like to hang out with me as well. I like to take photos, so I know this person will enjoy taking photos with me as well. It's important to center that as it relates to anywhere where you are feeling inspired to shoot your shot this week. So my loves, that is our week. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I believe in magic because I am magic. Be what it is that you are wanting to call in. We have one of the most auspicious alignments this week, and it is an energy for us to consciously amplify, consciously expand, consciously tune into. It is a vibration. And this can be the energy where it's like if we're just waiting in our homes, waiting for this Venus conjoining Jupiter magic to come in, we might feel a little let down around, I thought the love of my life was meant to knock on my door. I thought this amazing paycheck was just going to find me. This is sort of week where we gotta put in a little bit of effort to find the magic. I have to be so forthright about that. We gotta place the order. We gotta shoot the shot. so to speak. We got to launch the thing. We got to be open to the new idea. But we are more of a magnet to the sweetness of Venus on Jupiter, the romance of Venus on Jupiter, the beauty, the artistry of Venus on Jupiter. The more that we believe that it exists, firstly, believe that magic is out in the world, believe that goodness is out in the world, beauty is out in the world, love is out in the world, and also know that we are worthy of receiving it. We are worthy of magnetizing it in. And the more that you can see the magic within yourself, the goodness within yourself, the more you will align to other things that are magical and good within this experience. And looking for the slivers of where love is showing up, beauty is showing up, gratitude is showing up, and consciously expanding it. This is the ask of Venus on Jupiter. And so our emoji of the week this week is going to be the sandwich emoji, as a shout out to the sandwich bar analogy. If you don't have emojis where it is that you're watching or listening, just use the word sandwich within a sentence. If you happen to be on a platform where you're able to comment, that's this little game that we play here in the cosmic corner of the internet to let me know that you made it to the end. My loves, I hope you soak up every bit of magic this week, because you are magic and you are so worthy of this. But until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay